Welcome back, and today video we're gonna be about how to run our tests with different users without repeating tests over and over. Usually when you have a login functionality, you're gonna reuse it with different users because at least you should have manager and regular user with some basic permissions, and for example end user and etc. And in order to reuse it and not duplicate your code over and over, we have particular feature as like a data-driven testing. And in Cypress, the way is to do it, we need to declare array with the values that you want to pass, and then create a for loop which will iterate your test over and over until your array will not be finished. So let's try to implement a positive test with all possible users that SouthLab demo has, and also we're gonna try negative test with passwords, for example, when it's not acceptable. There's scenarios exist when you have particular requirements for the password. Let's say it should have capital letter, it should have one lowercase, it should have special key, and etc. So based on that, you also need to create a data-driven test that will try different passwords over and over, and this way you don't need to repeat yourself. From now on, I'm gonna do commit and push during the video recording. This way you can also keep up with the GitHub strategy, how it works and everything, and this way we will follow all the branches, everything we created, and in the future you can see as a dimension how it worked, what we had before, and in case something broke we can return back. So that's why the project is pushed to the GitHub, and we're gonna go right now and create a branch in order to create a task with data-driven implementation. In SouthLab demo, they have accepted users, and based on the name you can understand what type of permissions they have and which should work and should not work. I already checked before the video recording, and logged out user 100% cannot enter to demo project, but all other users can, and we just need to use the same password for all of the users. So let's begin. So let me try to test it manually first. All the time before you do any automation, you need to try it manually in order to be sure that you're gonna work on the features that is working. So I paste the credentials, and right now we'll click login button, and error message should be present. If error message is not present, and we know that based on requirements this user should not be logged in, this is a red flag for us and we need to report it. Error message is present right here, and if you want to search for this error message is exactly here. We have a full locator that we're gonna copy and paste into our project, and we have particular message here. So we are gonna just focus on tests that are able to log in and with a different passwords. Therefore the message may vary, but this is one of the scenarios that usually you should cover as well. Before we will create a new branch, we need to pull everything, because maybe someone else was working on a main branch and they merged it, and we need to have the latest updates on our branch. So I will do update of my project, and it's all up to date. And right now we're gonna create a new branch. Let's say login data-driven test and create. And right now we're gonna just copy this test and paste it here. The difference gonna be is we're gonna pass a different username over and over. We're gonna first create an array. We will call it users, and now we need to create a for loop, and we need to use this variable inside our method. And since it is a for loop and it has particular indexes inside our array, we need to use this array right here. Okay, and now we're gonna pull only, and we will run only this test. So everything is working as expected. When you're putting a keyword only, it's gonna run only this test. If you want to run all tests, you need to remove this key and it will work. Now we will try to use same functionality only for passwords. So let's copy this test and let's create different passwords. We will also store it inside array, and we will paste name here. At this moment we are not going to use different users, so we need to return this line to the previous. However, we will change the password line. Now we're going to call bad password array. Okay, but this test is negative test, so we're going to change it's negative test. It should not log in, and we need to expect error message. So let's paste our locator inside our login page. And now we're gonna remove these two lines because they are not valid for our test, and we will paste error message here. It should be visible and we should expect particular test. So let's first remove this part, and we're gonna run it and see if it's gonna pass. So you can see it's a negative test running, and here we have a special error message, and for all tests the error message is the same. So let's copy this error message, paste it into our test and run it. All tests passed, and we can see it is confirming that error message is as expected. So the feature and functionality was automated successfully. Now we need to make sure that we're going to commit everything and push to our GitHub, so it's going to be saved and secure. So you can see here we have two changes. We added locator and we create a new test. So let's do commit and push. Inside our GitHub we have this button. The new branch was created. Since we don't have any reviewers, usually you have to add reviewers. They will need to review your PR, and then when they will approve it, you can merge it. So we're creating a PR. When you will get all approvals, you can merge it. Since I don't have anybody, I'm just going to click merge, and now it's exists inside our project right here. Thank you so much, and see you in the next videos.